Okay, tell me if this is you. Grinding like crazy to save your first $5,000, skipping trips, canceling subscriptions, saying, nah, I'm good at restaurants. Then you finally hit 50K, and instead of feeling like a financial superhero, you're low-key bored. You're staring at your account like, cool, so now what? Suddenly, you're scrolling car listings, looking at apartments you absolutely do not need, pricing flights to places you can't pronounce, and you start thinking, I've been responsible long enough. That right there, that's the trap. My name is Sam, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people fumble their money right when they're finally doing well. If you're someone who built up real savings but now feels kinda unmotivated, or you're tempted to upgrade your lifestyle because you earned it, hit subscribe and tap the like button if this hits home. Because here's the thing, $50,000 isn't a money milestone, it's a mental milestone, and most people choke right here. We've all heard it. Saving gets easier once you make more money. Nope. For most people, it actually gets harder. Because when your income goes up, your lifestyle wants to level up too. The Federal Reserve's Survey of Consumer Finances shows that spending rises almost proportionally with income for middle-class households. Translation? Most people make more and somehow still feel broke. Lifestyle creep isn't rare, it's the default setting. And once you hit 50K saved, your brain starts whispering, you're good now, relax. But your brain doesn't care about financial freedom, it cares about comfort and looking like you're doing well. Big difference. Let's talk dopamine. Going from $0 to $1,000 saved? Massive win. You feel like a genius. 1K to 10K? You're unstoppable. 10K to 50K? Okay, now you're stable. But 50K to 60K? Your brain's like, that's it? There's no new car, no luxury apartment, no flashy Instagram moment, just numbers. Economists call this diminishing marginal utility. Each extra dollar feels less exciting than the last. Your first $1,000 feels life-changing. Your next $10,000? Kind of whatever. But mathematically, that next $50,000 is where things start getting serious. Your brain just can't see it yet. Say you've got $50,000 invested. Average 8% annual return in a basic index fund? Here's what happens. 10 years, about $108,000. 20 years, about $233,000. 30 years, about $503,000. That's without adding another dime. Now let's say you invest $1,000 a month on top of that. In 30 years, you're sitting at around $1.9 million. That's not cute savings, that's life-changing money. So why does 50K feel small? Because it doesn't change your lifestyle, but it completely changes your trajectory, and your brain is trash at valuing trajectory. Here's the dangerous part. $50,000 feels spendable. It feels like a down payment, a Tesla, a quick Europe trip, a flex. But let's break it down. Using the 4% rule, 50K generates about $2,000 a year. That's $166 a month. You can't retire on that. You can't quit your job on that. So your brain says, might as well use it. But that's like quitting the gym because you don't have abs after 3 months. You're in the awkward middle, and most people quit in the awkward middle. At 8%, $50,000 earns about $4,000 a year. That's a 4K raise for doing nothing. But it doesn't feel like a raise because it doesn't hit your checking account in a dramatic way. Now compare that to $500,000. At 8%, that's $40,000 a year. Now the money's doing real work, but you only get to 500K by not blowing the 50K. That's the part nobody wants to hear. Once you feel safe, your motivation changes. You stop worrying about survival. You start worrying about status. And status is visible. Nice car? Visible. High-rise apartment? Visible. Designer clothes? Visible. Your brokerage account? Invisible. You can't flex compound interest, so your brain starts nudging you towards stuff people can see. That's how people making 6 figures still end up broke, not because they're dumb, because status feels better than spreadsheets. But Sam, I deserve to enjoy my money. You do, but let's be honest, are you spending from overflow or from boredom? There's a huge difference between treating yourself responsibly and nuking your investment momentum because you're restless. One delays gratification. The other delays freedom. Let's say you're 30 with 50K invested. If you never add another dollar and just let it ride at 8%, by 65, you've got around $737,000. Now imagine you invest $1,000 a month for just 10 more years, then stop. At 65, about $1.4 million. That extra decade, worth roughly $700,000. Same starting point, different discipline window. That 50K to 150K stretch, that's the make or break zone. There's research out of Princeton showing that once basic needs are covered, emotional benefits from more income level off fast. You adapt quickly. That new salary? Normal in 6 months. That savings milestone? Normal in a year. So when 50K becomes your baseline, it stops feeling impressive. And when something stops feeling rewarding, we stop pushing. That's human. But wealth doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about consistency. Here's what most people don't realize. The real magic starts at 100K invested. At 100K, 8% is $8,000 a year. At 200K, $16,000. At 300K, $24,000. Now the growth is noticeable. Now it feels exciting again. But you don't get there by celebrating at 50K. You get there by locking in. Two friends, both 28, both hit 50K saved. Friend A says, "Finally, I made it." Buys a $35,000 car, payments stack up, insurance jumps, investing slows down. Friend B says, "Cool, next stop, 100K." Keeps driving the old car. 3 years later, friend A, 60K invested. Friend B, 115K invested. Fast forward 30 years at 8%, friend A ends around $603,000. Friend B ends around $1.16 million. Same starting line, different mindset. Wealth building has 3 stages: broke and scrambling, stable but bored, compounding machine. Most people never reach stage 3 because stage 2 is dull. No applause, no big changes, just discipline. But that's the part that separates comfortable from wealthy. Let's get practical. Stop treating 50K like you won. It's not the finish line, it's the warm-up. Automate immediately. Increase investments the week you hit 50K. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Automation doesn't care how you feel. Think in passive income, not net worth. Instead of saying, "I want 100K," say, "I want 8K in yearly growth." That makes compounding feel real. Delay every major upgrade by 12 months. Still want it a year later? Cool, but give your future self a vote. The real reason your brain hates saving after 50K is not that you're bad with money. Your brain is wired for instant reward, social proof, and visible progress. Wealth building is slow, quiet, boring. That mismatch is why you feel restless. But if you can push through this phase, you hit escape velocity. And once compounding really kicks in, it gets fun again. If you've saved $50,000, you're already ahead of most Americans. A huge percentage couldn't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. So you're not behind, you're early. But the decisions you make between 50K and 150K, that's the fork in the road. One path leads to doing fine. The other leads to financial freedom. And nobody claps while you're walking it. But future you? Future you will be real grateful you didn't fumble the bag. If this helped, smash the like button. Subscribe if you want more no BS money breakdowns, and drop your current savings number in the comments. Let's see where everybody's at. I'll catch you in the next one.